Hi everyone, Fritz here. In today's video, we're gonna clean out the intake valves on Mike's F30. Now, some of you may know BMW engines are turbocharged now. So with that comes direct injection engines, meaning that the fuel, when it comes in with the cleaning detergents on it, it doesn't actually pass through the intake valves anymore. So how do we clean them now? It's either one, walnut blasting, which can be an expensive task when you take it to a mechanic, or you just pick up one of these intake valve cleaners, and I'll leave the link for it in the description down below. This is less than 20 bucks. It saves you a lot of money, it saves you a lot of hassle, but the first thing that we need to do for this is to remove the MAF flow sensor, because we can't get any of this cleaner onto the sensor so that it doesn't get damaged. Now, in order to remove this sensor, we have to remove these two torque screws right here. That rear one is a little bit hard to get to. So in order to get access to it, just remove this panel. There is an 8mm nut that holds this panel in place. Just move it out of the way. That way you can have access to the rear torque screw on the MAF flow sensor. Wiggle the sensor out of place and then disconnect it so that we can clean it as well. I made a mistake. I thought I was recording, but it actually wasn't. So for this step, you will get a check engine light, like you have missing pressure or the airflow isn't consistent, something like that. You'll get a check engine light because you've taken out the MAF. But what you really need to do, your charge pipe. This hole right here on the charge pipe is where our MAF would have went in. So we've removed it. We're going to fill it up with a piece of paper towel just so that we don't get in any dirty air. Once it's filled like that with the paper towel, take your straw from the valve intake cleaner and stick it inside, and then start to release the cleaner in the charge pipe. Go in short bursts, like hold it down for 1 or 2 seconds, and then hold it down for 3 seconds, back to 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 second. Empty out the entire can, and then the engine might stutter a couple times. Don't worry, that's perfectly normal. That just means the cleaner is actually working. As soon as you're done, take out the straw, take out the paper towel, put back in the MAF once you've cleaned it. Now, back to the rest of the video. Now, as we're going through this process, don't worry if there's a little bit of white smoke that comes out of the car. That's perfectly normal. That just means that the cleaner is actually working. Now, when you've completely emptied out the can, go ahead and turn off the engine. Don't worry, Mike's like the second worst actor I know. And then let it sit for an hour. But as it's sitting, let's go ahead and clean the MAF sensor. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a lot of residue in the sensor itself. But even on the outside, on the cage, quite a bit that you can see there. So just go ahead and take your mass airflow cleaner and give it a few sprays. Whew, looks a whole lot clean. All that brown oil gunk that was on there, it's all off now. It's looking real good. Let's go ahead and reinstall this and then wait up our hour. And as we're waiting out this hour, you might be saying to yourself, how often do we have to do this? And I would say probably do it every 10,000 miles or every time you change your oil. And it's actually not bad if you do it before your oil change, finish up your oil change, and then go ahead and start the engine back up. If you take your time with the oil change, do it in an hour, there's no reason why you can't do this just before that. And it saves you a whole lot of money versus walnut blasting, and you're not without your car for a day. And then once that hour's up, go ahead, drive it at freeway speeds, and then you're all done. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.